The hero group, the
What's it called? Never
Never
again?
Again Berlin. Berlin,
But
yeah.
can I mention one more? I mean,
Oh, why
Yeah.
not? Sure. Let's
yeah,
put more joy
I
in
want
it.
to
Always more
mention.
good news.
I want to also use this part maybe on Instagram, maybe I don't know. But I want to mention Musab Hassan Youssef.
Oh, yeah.
Oh,
This man is even out of curiosity or out of interest. Sometimes, as a movie that you like, I sometimes go to in his for his debates in 1 year ago or whatever, and I look at it again. Like before the podcast, I did the same. Musab Hassan Youssef, I have so many empathy and same kind of story in my mind that I can share with him because it's about the concept of a person who got born in Middle East and got survived from the authority, killer authority,
Yeah.
and achieved a freedom for himself and or herself, any woman or man. But Musab Hassan Yusuf, the way that he's also continuing still to advocate for Israel without fear, it's so many logical points, and he's introducing himself as a Palestinian child. I mean, it's fascinating. I learn really from him, and he's kind of a hero for me. I mean, not hero. I'm not that type of guy, but he's really genius. I mean,
Yeah, you are. You can have a lot of admiration for someone. I do never put people on pedestals, but there are people that you have so much like, wow, you're fantastic, doing fantastic things, and he's one of them. He was speaking in front of the United Nations, and a lot of Europeans walked out.
if you
Interesting.
listen to Mossab Yosef, right? If you listen to him
Musab
speak,
Hassan Yusuf. Yeah.
Mossab Hassan Yosef, um, he's very much a devout Christian now, and but he's into self-responsibility. And I really like that about him. He's got like he keeps himself honest, and the honesty gives him the moral clarity to speak. It's not that he knows better, but he does. It's not he doesn't come across that way. He's a truth seeker, and he hates lies and he hates corruption. And I think he loves life, and I think he loves the Palestinian people, and he
Absolutely.
wants a better future. And his heart comes out that way.
Yeah,
So he's not talking down. He's
yeah,
just
yeah. It is an
great.
I mean,
amazing man.
he's an example or perfect example to show the people. I mean, it's not the popular choice, but when you shake hand with death, you can really be free.
Yeah,
You can really
yeah.
say whatever you want, and
Beyond the fear, beyond
yeah,
You're
everything,
right.
he's there. Yeah, I have his book here, also, The Son of Hamas. Yeah, I love him a lot. Okay, wonderful. Well, mine is a bit related to actually Julia. Natasha Hausdorff. She is a
Ah,
Jewish lawyer in
yeah.
England and an excellent speaker. She gets also, of course, a lot of heat, and her calm demeanor and her smart way of talking, I find that fantastic. And it's better than all the hot craziness. You know, it's great that somebody can speak so calm and wise and smart in a way, like um, what is his name? Douglas Murray does too. So it's wonderful that we have people to be grateful for, and there are more, many more, thank God. That's
Yes,
the good
thank
thing.
God.
So I want to
Thank God.
thank you guys very much. It was really very nice. It took a lot of time because we went over it, but it doesn't matter. It is a lot of interesting information. I can see you will do being big things in life, Navi.
For
That
sure.
I don't want to call
thank
it
you,
to
thank
come
you.
over now, like come out like a grandma. I'm not even a grandma. I wish I was, but not
I
yet.
mean, don't go there. Actually,
Yeah, but
you don't need.
really, you're a little bit younger than we are, a little bit, and it is wonderful to meet somebody with so much courage
Yes.
and power and education. And this is, I think, that really impressed me so much that you are so well educated. Say it with a good, from a lot of confidence, and and you will learn more and less and all that. But that's really very nice, and that gives me hope. And I think you should also take the mic much more, like others do, like Musab Hassan Youssef too, right? Meet with those people, and you can make change in the world, and you can be the light for the Muslims that do want to live and think like you, because there are many also, and they need also support because they're in fear. They speak out.
Mhm.
And you need to be safe too. So look always out for yourself that you are safe, because there are people that don't like what you say.
So
Unfortunately.
that was a beautiful thing that you said. I mean, if it has encouraged me even more.
Yeah. Oh wow.
Yeah.
But I mean it. I only say things I mean. I am known
The
for
world needs you.
the
That's what
world
I'm gonna
needs you.
say. The world
Yeah.
needs
Oh
you.
my God.
The world,
Yeah.
you are so needed.
Yeah.
Don't ever doubt that for not even a second, because I feel like it's a fight between light and evil, good and darkness, and you figured that out early. And there's a lot of people that will waste their lives defending bad ideas that hurt other people, and you're not part of that crowd. You can see clearly, and somehow, even though you don't believe in God, something in life gave you
Yeah.
some ability. So it came from somewhere, and you are very articulate. So I really think, keep studying, keep studying, keep studying, and keep following your sense of conviction, because you are right. You want to spread peace. This is a beautiful thing, but how to do it is the question. It's the devil's in the details, right?
Yeah.
Muhammad Atta took down the Twin Towers. He thought he was doing a good thing. It's like we can get a little confused in that. But the only piece that respects everybody's right to be here is, you get it. That's the piece.
Yeah,
Yeah.
That's
absolutely.
it. It's not that
Thank you so
complex, but you
much.
have
Thank you
courage.
so
So
much.
thank you.
I'm
Wonderful
speechless.
world.
It was so many good, I mean, wonderful, really.
Hello, everyone. This is another episode of Golda's Girls. And today is my co-host is Leah Jacobson. My name is Carla van Walsum. And we have a special guest. As usual, we have always special guests, known or unknown. And it's amazing the stories that people can bring with them that we don't know about. And it gives us a very powerful impression, which will happen today with Navid Ansari. Did I say it right? Little
Perfect. That was
version.
perfect.
Okay.
That was
Okay.
perfect.
And okay, Leah, you.
So Navid is an Iranian atheist. He is currently living in Germany as an asylum seeker. He is a Zionist who recognizes the Jewish people's right to self-determination. He's an advocate for the Iranian movement, women, life, freedom, and for Israel in pursuit of peace, freedom, and democracy in the Middle East and for its people. He's also a strong critic of Islam.
Wow, altogether, that's an amazing picture.
Wow.
And you grew up in Iran and you grew up as an Iranian Muslim, right? Is
I'm survivor of Shariat law, actually.
oh yeah,
That's the best framing for that.
yeah.
Yeah.
I unfortunately know quite a lot about Sharia law, and I can just imagine.
Yeah.
So, yeah, tell us more about what brought you to Europe and what brought you to becoming an activist.
In Iran, actually, if I want to start, I have to start from my atheism. If I don't want to keep it short. Before it, also, I had, because of others, and the situation and the environment, I had also a kind of journey in my childhood about Islam, and be spiritual, Muslim, do the deeds, this kind of stuff. But actually, then in second class of high school, I've started to get curious. First, I went to motivational videos, this kind of stuff. Anthony Robbins was one of them, so
Yeah,
many
yeah.
of them, yeah. Until the age of 17, I became a non-religious person, but still I was believing in God. Um, Also in a form of the creator, and even not agnostic, maybe a short period of I was agnostic, that I was saying I don't know. But after it in third grade, and for sure I can say fourth grade, I became fully atheist, and a kind of atheist that made several people in Iran also atheist. So I give myself a credit for that.
Wow. How many?
Two actually, but if you can change one life,
True. Yeah.
that's
Exactly.
yeah. But too, and also about religious stuff, also I had so many debates with my mom. Um, she can be a kind of model for, although she's Shia Muslim, which also in international, in global kind of stage, they are recognized a bit Shia Muslims more radical because it makes sense because they believe more into the hard power of Islam, but Sunnis, they are like soft power. Still, I condemn it, but soft power, it's still none or less violent. But my mom, although that she's a Shia, but actually we had a really good relationship. I love my mom, she loves me. Although that she knows that I'm atheist, I don't like this stuff and I'm against it. We had debates, and yeah, this relationship, it's still based on love.
Yeah, you must miss her living here, living not near. Yeah.
Yeah, what we can achieve without sacrifices is one of
That's
them.
true. That's true. It's a high price to pay that people don't for your freedom. I get that. Yeah.
She did a good job with you. I can see your love for her. It's really special. Like when men talk about their mothers with such a admiration and mutual respect. It's beautiful. So gives me hope even that we can all love no matter what religion we are,
Yeah.
I mean,
it's human.
that much idealistic, I don't see that because the point is I don't want to live in a country that the majority, they are supporting the idea of my mother. That's one I have to emphasize.
Okay, I'm
Yeah.
glad you tell me. Okay.
Yeah,
Yeah, I
but
can
in a
understand.
democracy, yeah,
Mhm.
So there's a big difference for you.
yeah, absolutely. I mean, the freedom that I've experienced in here is, I mean, always I had this kind of approach before getting into politics that at least I can say I am anti-war. Killing is wrong. Then I realized especially when I read about founding fathers of America. I'm a Jeffersonist Hamiltonist, if you want to know about it.
Yeah.
Yeah. And I read about it and not read, but I study in my own form, podcast. I mean, technology. I'm an AI guy. AI is my god, this type of reading. Fast, geopolitics, other stuff. But the point is, then I realized why Americans are always saying, God bless America, God bless USA and our troops also. And I was like, what the F is that? I mean, why you're saying God bless these troops that they are using to kill, they would be used for killing people. But the point is, democracy sometimes has to be emphasized even with force because that's the nature of this democracy. Democracy is an open thing. Therefore, war is absolutely wrong. A democratic person would say that. A liberal person would say that. But the point is, democracy says to us, according to the other empires and the history that we had, we are good people and we want equality for all. But if they are, God forbid, if they are coming for us, they would get worse than that. Because we know people that they are willing to kill us, they are not better than us. At least we have this transparency. So I've got a big admirer of democracy, and this freedom is precious to me. I felt that the freedom of body, I didn't know what the hell is freedom of body. When I've got into Germany, I was like, yes, oh my God, now I feel the freedom of body. And I get really excited about these topics when I talk about them because I live in one of these countries.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You say that so well. That is
Wow.
like such an how was it for you living in Iran your first 20 years of your life? What can you describe how life was that you had to be careful what you were saying? If you say I didn't have the bodily freedom, is that like in the streets? How did that go?
Basically Iran, because I've talked also because out of my curiosity with some of my Russian friends or the Russians that I saw. And if I want to convert it better for Europeans and Americans, to give the best idea, it's basically Russia. But you have also a really negative force of law because of Sharia law and the radical Islam that you have in the government. Even radical Islam can get dealt with on the street and in small groups. But when they are in the government, it's basically with all those limitations plus this kind of inhuman, yeah, absolutely, but kind of irrelevant Islamic laws that you have it in the 21st century. I mean, what the hell is that? I mean, that's that's the first sentence that you would say when you realize, oh my God, now I've gotten born in Iran. I don't know, when you get consciousness.
Yeah.
So yeah, it's kind of like that. I mean, the freedom of speech basically doesn't exist.
Mm-hmm.
It doesn't. And all the other foundation of democracy that every modern person would like to enjoy, uh, they don't exist there.
Mm-hmm.
And it's basically communism. I mean, the best example of it, it's Stalin with a kind of Ayatollah style, and he's a mullah. I mean,
Yeah.
Khamenei is basically Islamic Stalin, and it's so similar.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I can totally see
Wow.
that. Mm-hmm. And I've seen also how the student protests were like beat up horribly, but you were left already when the student protests were there or not.
Oh, with the girls?
The
Yeah.
woman like what?
The
With
women, when the women took off their
Oh, yeah. It was not
burqas?
just about students because we had like 15, 20 years ago a specific student movement. But basically, it was because I'm also living in Europe, I have to use also the terminology of feminism. Not this radical one that they are using for it, but it was a really a feminist uh, national nationwide movements, you know. And with feminism, I don't talk about this new neoliberal bullshits that feminists or you know, these radical feminists that they
You
are
say it, girl.
extinct and they hate men, you know. They are not feminists. They are
I
the
agree.
people that they are ruining the core of the feminism. It's about
I
equality and for
totally
men
agree.
and women,
We
not
totally
killing
get it.
men. You know, I mean, yeah, absolutely. And also, I have to say, no one can be more feminist than me. I've got born in a family that has a Muslim mother with four other men, me, my father, two other brothers. The leader, first and last word was with mom. So therefore, if anyone wants to accuse me for calling radical feminists not feminists, you know, you can't be feminist like me. I mean, I can assure you. So I want to close it here. Yeah, but park this topic here. The point is that I want to make is that this woman life freedom was with the leadership of women, and also with the national wide unity. And in Iran, when you talk about unity, you're talking about another matter because basically you're talking about another region and another nation. You have to recognize, and I want to keep it short. You have to recognize all of the countries in the Middle East. They just got born yesterday, except Armenia and Iran, and even Israel is got born for a short period of time, although we have a really, really long history for the Jewish people as an ethnic group. So that also makes a big difference. And also the attacks and anti-Semitism that we had that they have to get replaced and this kind of stuff.
Yeah.
So we are facing a unique country that it doesn't belong to a certain ethnic group. In nationalism is wrong in Europe. Why? Because in Europe, yeah, we had toxic nationalism. Germans would kill French. Englanders would kill, I don't know, French. And it's not just about world wars. During the history, they were fighting to each other, even today. So it's not the same nationalism. It's a kind of a civilization nation. You know, as a civilization, they define themselves and they refer to the same identity. Therefore, and we had never colonialism. That's the biggest for the post-colonial radical leftists. That's the biggest terminology throughout the history. Search and tell me, when did Iran colonize a country? We had Iranian Arabs, and still we have. We have Iranian Kurds, we have Iranian Baluch, we have Iranian Azeris, Turks, even Azeris in Iran. They are not getting along with the Azerbaijan, that country, and they say we are Iranian Azer, although they share the same mother tongue, Turkish. It's fascinating. Armenian, Iranian we have. And therefore, we are talking about another country. And this unity in this country showed the world, and for the first time in the history, with the leadership of women. And it was fascinating. I mean, women life freedom movement, and it's still on. I mean, it's lower than before, but we always say this Persian phrase, it's the fire under the ashes.
Say it in
Burn.
Persian. Say it in Persian.
Um, آتش زیر خاکستر.
Okay.
Fire under ashes. Yeah.
Yeah.
The
Oh,
women,
wow.
the women, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
The strength of the women. So that's a really interesting concept. You're saying that it's a civilizational identity over like a nation state. It's deeper. Is that what I heard you say?
It was the first, basically.
It's
We have
interesting.
so many claims which nation was the oldest one. I don't want to get into that
Oh
argument,
yeah,
but
no, but I'm saying in the Middle East, you're saying it's not necessarily nation state because there's deeper roots.
it was the first type of civil rights country in the history of mankind, which Cyrus the Great started. For the first time, people were enjoying civil rights, not an empire or whatever. Although it was not with this measurement of today's, it was not democracy, but it had civil rights. That was the first kind of this terminology that we saw throughout the history, and therefore he liberated the Jews.
Mm-hmm.
You know?
Said you can go back. I think it was the Second Temple time. Was that right? In 70 CE? I think it was 70. I don't know. 586 was the.
Yeah.
I'm not good with number.
Oh, okay, no problem.
Okay, that.
It's very interesting.
Yeah, it is. And how is it going with the resistance in Iran? But I see a lot about it through Israeli channels and accounts on social media, because there's a lot of support from Israelis for the resistance in Iran, right? You noted that too?
That Israeli journalists, they were trying to spread the
in the Israeli society, a
Yeah.
lot of
They
loyalty
try to
and
support them.
support. Yeah.
It's one of the biggest sounds. I don't know if it's in the government or opposition of Israel, but and also globally. I mean, Western civilization is considering to take Iran as a West side, side. I mean, side of this cultural war. I name it World War III, that we are also already living in, between the East and the West, democracy and authoritarian regimes.
Yeah, and it is to
yeah.
me so strange if you look at the fairness of the resistance and their objects and their objectives, that the UN is doing the other way around. United Nations is, I would say, kissing the. How do you say that nicely? I think the United Nations is not supporting
Backside.
resistance. Yeah, they are putting Iran on the chair of women's rights, while it is a Sharia law on the women's rights. It's like a big joke, I would say. So that is hard, and a lot of people eat that. A lot of people don't get those differences. I remember I said 97.
Appeasement, actually.
Sorry.
That's called appeasement. That's one of the.
Yeah, it
and
is so.
Unfortunately, they are doing.
So insincere and disgusting. Yeah. One second. I had a question.
Do you want me to jump in for a second? I have one here.
Yeah.
So I'm just curious about what you think is going on in Iran. I understand the birth rate's down, and also, like, what do you think the future is of? I was just reading, and I could be wrong, but yeah, I was just wondering what do you think is the end game? I mean, like, where's it going?
We had several incidents, and if you look at the intensity of the incidents, actually, we had for example, I don't know, 10 years, 15 years, one movement with one kind of special slogan, with political kind of matters in mind of those people, and they were participating and starting a movement, and it could go on. But the point is, it got every 10 years, for example, 5 years, 4 years. Now we are facing, like 3 years ago, women life freedom. 2 years before it, the 5,000 people got killed in the streets for gas. 2 years before that, in the autumn of, I don't know the year, but 2 years before that, you take the timeline. We had another one for just inflation. And between them also, we had so many small ones. For example, right now we have nationwide strikes in Iran, in around about less than 150 cities in Iran. Basically, the transportation system of this regime is collapsed for several days. So it's on. I mean, that's what I always argue with my other Iranian friends. And they say sometimes they are hopeless that what would happen and this kind of stuff. One thing I can say that it would define it in the best way. I would say we achieved something. I don't know what, I don't know when, but the society changed its course and discourse and question. The priority for Iranian people right now, and the main question for them is when this regime would go.
Yeah.
That's all.
Yeah.
So that's explains what's the approach from the Iranian, but it's also dangerous and so many other elements that we have to consider.
Yeah. So how is it for you to live in Berlin?
Lovely.
Are there many, sorry?
Lovely.
Lovely.
Sorry for the
Okay.
intro.
You have
Yeah.
many Iranian connections there, friends. What do you think about the political situation? Because I remember a huge demonstration, several actually, that I seen like in Hamburg, that there are like almost millions, I would say, of Muslims protesting. How is that for you? How do you look at that?
Um, Actually, when I saw that, I was like here for several months, and I was like, I just got here. Give me a second. What the hell is
Again?
this?
Yeah.
It was bringing all my traumas back, and even it was harder than Iran. At least for the sake of the society, they wouldn't say these stuff like Khalifa, these type of radicals you have just in the government. But these people, these creatures, I don't know if they are calling for Khalifa. You know what? When they are calling for
What does that
Khalifa,
mean?
they are
Oh, a
Caliphate.
caliphate.
The caliphate.
Caliphate. Yeah,
Oh,
Caliphate.
Yeah.
When they are calling that, basically they are talking about before the Ottoman Empire. I mean, what the fuck is wrong with these people?
Yeah.
Really, I'm getting mad. I'm getting mad with this. And I saw it in what? Hamburg? I mean, it was incredible. And I get irritated when you told me. I mean, I remembered all these traumas. And it's disaster. But I hope with the wave of from America that it got started. And I don't care about Trump. I'm not a fan or anything. I'm just talking about the action. And they are revoking the visas. They are doing something. So many of these people that you can see they are Islamists and they are studying in Harvard. And now it's something else. It's not about Democratic or Republican. I mean, who cares? It's about the civil matter. It's about the society matter. I hope that with this wave they revoke visas also in Europe, because parliamentary democracy of Europe proved to us that maybe the American democracy is still better. That's
I
why,
think
because
so too. And I know that many are
yeah,
infiltrated. With September 11, I lived in Rotterdam. And I know that from the night 11 to 12 or 12 to 13, one of those two nights, they took out of their beds 10 Iranian and 10 jihadists in Rotterdam. So you see, there is such a network worldwide that even the Secret Service knows about, but they don't have enough tools how to handle it. And Germany they took in like 1 million Syrian refugees, right? A lot of them young men. And I think, the women and the children makes to me more sense, because the young men can also learn to fight for their country if there is still opportunity for doing that, right? So they have that feelings of guilt because they started the Second World War, and that makes it a bit complicated too. But the common sense, what you said, what in the revoking visas, it's I think it is common sense, because you say I don't like war. Nobody likes war. Some people like war. That's true. A lot of people maybe, but not us. But you need to protect the freedom too. Yeah, if the evil can take over. You need to resist the evil. Otherwise, it's you or me. It's just a simple thing. So how is life in Berlin for you? Because you have some experience there. Do you feel welcome? Do you feel, how is it to live there for you?
And it's I mean, about this question, I have to answer and talk about German people or German society in
Yeah.
particular. But
Yeah.
I would say that it's not kind of because I think also this comfortability that people feel about how you can get integrated so easy, and Reagan, phrase that, but you can come to America and you can become an American. That's a nice slogan. He was a marketer.
Yeah.
And I don't say they are not more progressive. Absolutely. For the matter of integration, you can get integrated easier. You can connect better
In Germany,
with
you're talking about?
no, in
Or
America,
America? Oh, yeah. Okay.
but not with a high, difference. I mean, not that much. German people are more conservative kind of, and according to my own experience, and I say it also to my friends, if you try, especially if you prioritize and go first for the language, you would get so many good options, and also place is important. And why I say um, place is important, but I say it's also kind of the same like America, because also in Texas, in some kind of just American areas, not that they are bad people, but they are not interacting with so many people. Therefore, they would be more conservative about you. I mean, have to go to the big cities, this kind of stuff. And if you follow that path, especially the language, you would get a really nice reaction from Germans, and they are lovely people, really.
So you have a good
Yeah.
experience. So what brought you to become a Zionist? What is your path there?
Too easy. Just I've realized, I've read or I've heard that it's because I'm atheist, and some of the stuff that I have, I'm really an open person, but some of them are identical. Atheism is one of them for me. And I don't think 99%, I don't think in the future I will change that. Therefore, I don't want to advocate for the religion. But I've heard Zionism is not relevant, or it can, but in the core, in the main thing about it is that it's not about Judaism. It's about that self-determination and the rights to acknowledge for Jewish people as an ethnicity. So yeah, just like that, I found it interesting, because also already I was so already mad with this pro-Palestine stuff in Berlin. I was like, no, 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 now I have to do something, because now they are so shameless that you see Islamic Republic flag among them. At least it's one of the elements that we tried for the last 3 years to remove from this society, and make it shameful. Therefore, no one would see that. At least, I mean, it's one of the aspects of the movement and revolution. And you see it among pro-Palestine people, and you would say, who are you advocating for? I mean, tell me. The Mus'ab Hassan Youssef, I admire him. He
Yeah.
one time said, you are going for a revolution for the sake of the revolution. Because,
He's brilliant.
what kind of revolution is that?
Yeah.
So,
Hamas.
yeah, therefore I was advocating for it. And I'm also doing it harder and better.
Mhm.
And I found so many mutual interests among geopolitically, other stuff also culturally between Jewish people. I mean, even not Jewish people, Israeli people, even Israeli Arabs, Israeli people, and also Iranian. And why not? Let's get free and better together.
Yeah. But that is
I
so
love it.
interesting. If you have this attitude like you can connect with everybody because you don't put your opinion on them. You have to be like this. It is over bridging. I like that. You have not been in Israel, I suppose, right?
No, not yet. But Tel Aviv, I would come.
Yeah,
Wait
it's
for me.
amazing. That's so
Wait for
nice.
me.
I was like
Anyone who's
2 weeks
listening to this
ago.
You
podcast
want to
from
talk
Tel Aviv,
freedom?
Yeah, you will
That
like
is
it there.
the
anyone.
freest spot on earth, I think.
Have you
No, I
ever?
can be like James Bond. If you're looking to this video from Tel Aviv, remember, I would come to you, I would come to your house, and I would eat your hummus.
Oh, okay.
Ah,
Well, let them start making
great
it.
hummus. Is
With
there
some,
hummus in it? There
with
must
some
be hummus in
Persian
Iran.
rice. With Persian rice. I think one of
Oh
the
yeah,
best rice in the world.
tzatziki.
God.
No, is it tzatziki? This
Tzatziki.
the
Tahdig.
tadik.
That Persian art. Yeah.
Ah, so good.
Persian food is amazing. Yeah, that's so
But
funny.
hard to make, very hard. I've had a lot of cooking classes. Persian cooking is, I
Yeah.
think, the hardest. Yeah,
Oh my gosh, really?
it's really hard.
Interesting. You're
Yeah,
such a
it's just things you don't know
multi-educated
about.
woman.
It's like, and it's mushy and like what texture, but when you eat it, it's great. But
It's so funny. I've
yeah,
never met a Persian or Iranian person that did not think that Iranian kitchen was the Persian food was the best in the world. They all have like Persian food. My
There is
ex-husband is
another one
Persian.
because of that in Middle East. What are you talking about?
Yeah.
They call Turks, they call it kebab, we call it kebab.
Yeah,
There is
kebab.
another war for
Yeah,
oh,
food
it's
in
the
yeah.
Middle
same
East.
food. It's
Oh,
all so
We
good.
call Indian food, no, they are disastrous, too spicy.
kebab. I'm going to learn
The
it.
East and West.
You know, I had a thought about something you said earlier about democracy. I love this topic because I also, like I said, I grew up here and I never really got why America's so special and what is the big deal about freedom until you open your eyes and you see other places that don't have it. And we weren't even taught to respect the fact that we have freedom or even acknowledge it at all. Now I'm grown up and I get it. But I just wanted to point out that there's no democracy that's ever initiates a war in history. Did you know that? No democratic country ever initiates a war. It might respond, but this is a very distinction.
That is a very
Wow.
good thing. The other thing
Yeah.
is there is no democracy established without a war to get it there.
Ah,
It's very interesting.
right.
Those are two things of the wow.
And it
What a
comes down
fact.
to like a
Oh my
gun or
God.
killing, God forbid. It's nobody wants to kill, but if someone's coming and putting a gun in your chest, like then what's your theory? What's your theory? Are you a pacifist? I actually had a gun on my chest once. I was mugged. And I remember the feeling of it. And I thought, oh my God, like you can't philosophize when it's touching your chest. Like, do you believe in war? Do you believe in peace? Yeah, I believe in peace, but I'm being
Are you
attacked.
mad? Are you mad? You want to
No,
No.
I'm just saying that it's like we have to defend freedom, and the people I think that don't have freedom maybe are jealous of it and they want it and they want to take out the freedom because why should they suffer and why shouldn't everyone suffer? Misery loves company. I don't know, maybe I'm being naive, but what do you think? I mean,
I'm fascinated with the both facts that you've mentioned. Basically, we can say all the democracies throughout the history, they have been achieved with war, but no democracy throughout the history have raged a war. That would be the combination of both facts. That's fascinating. That's fascinating. I didn't know that. Oh
Yeah.
my God.
yeah. If
Thank
you
you,
go to
Leah.
the UN, 2/3 of the countries that make up the UN are not democracies.
Yes. And
Oh.
still people think, oh, the UN
Totalitarian,
is
and
great.
it's still like this emblem of peace.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
Their
That
own
was the
countries don't have it.
ideology 100 years ago. It was such a beautiful initiative. No, not 80 years ago. And that's the problem. What happens with hear a message more often enough, and you go to believe it as truth. And then you think United Nations, the word is so beautiful. As a child, we were going to there's a palace in The Hague from the United Nations, and that was the palace is built. And we went there with my school and my class, and we had to sing on the stairs the song Dona Nobis Pacem. That is a beautiful canonic song that you speak. It has like 3 voices, so we all did that. We were like in 5th grade. And it is the song of that we have peace in the world. Dona, give us peace. And so it is a beautiful initiative, but it is totally corrupted by misuse of power today. Not everywhere, not always, but a lot of things. If you look at UNRWA, how that is happening, and now still with the hostages, right? They have not spoken out, they have not been supportive, and they have some power that they didn't use.
I think peace is
Not every
earned. It's earned. It's not given. It's not bestowed. It's earned, and it's every day it's earned, and it has to be protected. It's not a usual state of affairs, I would say, peace. it's such a beautiful gift that, but we have to work for it to get it, to keep it, and it's not a given. It's not a given. There's like, again, it comes down to free speech. You know, you're now in Europe, you can have free speech, and you didn't have it. That's something you said, but that to me is the cornerstone of a democracy. For me to be able to tolerate something someone says that I don't like, and I don't harm them, I don't touch them, because it's not my place. I can be as upset as I want. And believe me, I am upset. There's a lot being said right now about Israel, and believe me, it's like beyond upset. It doesn't mean I can touch anybody. Like, it's two separate things, and I never confuse that. But maybe if I come from a different place, I would confuse it. I'm angry, and therefore I'm justified to break the peace. I'm not. I'm never am. But it's
I mean,
different philosophy.
basically, I can say it's also too extreme, but as a kind of interesting thing, also interesting claim. Democracy is an art of law. That it seems like that all the lawyers throughout the history, they've gathered everything and they said, okay, you have a philosophy, you have a kind of perspective, whatever you have in the box of law and order, the balance of power and this kind of stuff. And they are really deep, boring, stuff, law and other stuff. But that's kind of what they've achieved. And whether we like, I mean, I'm a big admirer of Kennedy. So I quote from Robert Kennedy. One time he said to Robert Kennedy Jr., and he was quoting it, he said, the authority would lie. Therefore, it was kind of like that you as a citizen have to be in a constant relationship in order to prevent the corruption. And, at the end, you have to demand your freedom. I mean, the democracy is not something that you would achieve and you go home. Democracy is something that you have to be in a constant relationship with your government. What are you doing? I have this problem. Why are you not doing something about it? And that's elitism that Democratic Party got into it. And Qatari's money funded it. And they are ruining themselves, transgender people. They are ruining transgender people. In Berlin, interestingly, the number of transgender attacks and this kind of stuff, it was coming hugely down. Last year, it was up again. Why? Because it's on the form of politicizing for your own interest. Transgender people, they have to be the first people on the street to say, why are you talking about us too much and always in the politics that we see that we have, and you don't prioritize it, and we are always first, and some of the aspects of our life are the aspects that you are just politicizing it. For example, this part, I didn't have any problem. Now you're bringing it into parliament, to politicizing it, to use for the party interests and this kind of stuff. That was not never, it was done in the society. What are you talking about? What are you doing? And they are ruining, therefore you see this hate. When you use, I mean, that's logical. 2 + 2, it's 4. When you use this minority kind of approach and you always want to do everything for this small of minority, and you want to push this idea to others as a government, absolutely you would start with hatred. That's inevitable. I mean, that's one of the problems that my point is, that's why we didn't demand it. You have to be in this relationship with authority, and they lie, whether we like it or not.
It's not negotiable.
What?
So why do you think they do it?
Not negotiable.
I mean, I have my own answer, but like, why do you think the government is doing that, highlighting the needs of this small group?
We always see government as an object, and also I had also always this mistake in my mind, but government is a bunch of people that they are coming and leaving. The system is that it would remain. So if we don't get into that relationship with authority and the government, the system would get corrupted.
Mm-hmm.
I'm so happy that Trump won this election.
Mm-hmm.
I don't love Trump, but what I hate is the parasite of democracy. Why? Every action has a reaction. This radical politics of Democrats that they've implemented had a reaction. It's not the best one. It has so many problems, but you started it. And the government, basically, I'm just talking about the structure of democracy. The government and the powers, they've got too much bureaucratic. What's happening in Germany? And now go and choose Trump, J.D. Vance, my mom, I don't know, your relatives, Kamala Harris, whatever. The policies would remain kind of the same. So in Germany, is the same. And if they don't do anything about it, I mean, in Germany, I'm not sure. I don't want to get into trouble. I'm not sure. But everything is too slow. It can be just a sign. I don't know. What about America? I can say, because the president is also saying, jail him first. You know? Anyway, but basically the structure was too bureaucratic. When you vote, your vote has to be counted, and you have to see differences. Even if you're wrong, it's about the majority. It's not about bunch of elites. That's the function of democracy. So
Yeah.
yeah, that's my answer. What's yours?
No, I agree that the government got very bloated in a negative way. And I can say I'm 56. I grew up here, and I never thought that I wouldn't feel that my vote counted until the last couple of years. I started to feel like my vote is relevant, and I never felt that. And so I
And
said
I
something's
didn't live
wrong.
in that society, but it's interesting that you. Thank you. You
No, I'm
completed my
telling you, it
assessment.
worried me, and I also I feel better. At least we can go and talk to the government. Except after what just happened in DC, I feel less safe. You know, I can't believe what just
Oh yeah,
happened. I mean, if you want to shift to that, I'm
absolutely, absolutely.
scared about this now. I mean,
But that's the new world, and that won't disappear because the propaganda has been so effective with the lies, and that's very hard to get that out. I mean, I got numerous death threats only by quoting on videos with the son of Hamas, or Luai, or Ravan Osman, even, you know? Do you know her? Do you know her,
No,
Navid?
unfortunately.
Huh?
By the names, I'm so weak
Ravan
with the names.
Osman, she's
you
Syrian,
should write her
Lebanese.
down and have a
Yeah.
nice conversation. You'll
She's
have a lot to
Syrian,
talk about.
Lebanese. Also lives in Germany.
Yeah, she's in Germany. I think she's in
And
Berlin.
she is also Zionist like you. And she's converting now Jewish, but that's not so relevant. But very, very powerful woman. I will send you her information. And
Okay,
she
absolutely.
sticks
Yeah.
yeah, she's amazing. She's amazing. Yeah.
What would you say to the people in Germany that are marching against Israel? Like, what can you say to them? What can you do? Because you're in a very beautiful situation in life that you put yourself in. Hats off to you. But what can you say? I mean, you're coming from a totalitarian regime. You're coming from a very specific place where people are being radicalized and don't understand almost what they're advocating for. It's also the death of
They
people
think
in
they know.
Israel.
They
I
think
mean,
they know. They think they even serve a good cause because the good cause is so manipulated, I believe. But that's a great question. Yeah.
I don't know.
Who you think are these pro-Palestinians? I mean, I'm curious.
Who do I think are the pro-Palestinians? A lot of them are kids, American kids on college campuses.
In
I'm
Europe
talking
too.
from
Really?
America.
I mean,
Europe.
how many percentage? I mean, give me kind of number in your mind.
Percentage
In America or Europe?
in America?
In America, where you live?
Oh my gosh. Well, I'm close to Harvard, so don't ask me. Uh,
Let's
no,
say
I think
70,
it's not
80%.
a huge number, but you know what? It doesn't matter. You know, Brigitte Gabriel once said that the majority are irrelevant. It's the minority that have very loud voices. And if
Yes.
you have very radical, loud voices that are going in the government, in all the universities here, um, it impacts, even if it's a small, because the left is letting them in.
That's the function of propaganda. But what I'm
Yes.
trying to talk about is that go to these groups and the small Islamic, sometimes radical minorities are giving them the signals. You have always far left parties that they are fighting for communism, or I don't know what the hell
Marxism.
are
Yeah,
they
yeah.
talking. Whatever. I mean, you have them, but the point is, why did they get radicalized, and why are they now into the streets and they are threatening Jews, and they were silent about Syrian kids? I mean, they were maybe protesting, but
Yemeni, yeah,
Yemenis,
Sudan,
Sudan,
Syrians, Sudan, and all
India.
the
other these
Uyghurs,
genocide, and China,
the Uyghurs.
their lovely, country, China, even against Muslim as an atheist, I'm defending. But the point is, you're not talking about, and their matter. That comes the conflicts. Their matter is worldwide. Oh my God! So why are you silent, or are you discriminating Palestinian life with Syrian life?
Yeah.
That's the
What,
problem.
what's your answer to that? What's your
The
explanation?
answer is that software of Sunnis and the one exception of Shias, which is rather Qatar, it's working.
Yeah.
The funding and the Americans, and even I wanted to say just this statement. I was thinking about it, which topics I have to talk about. I just say, um, Iran, freedom of Iran in the future is beneficial for everyone, especially Western civilization and all the democracies, not just as an slogan. Give me a matter, geopolitical, economic law, I don't know, social stuff, whatever, you name it. I would argue why. Therefore, one of the aspects is Western civilizations, they have to realize Arab oil money has curse on it, and you have, I mean, not curse in a kind of religious way, but you you shouldn't about the dynamic of Middle East. When you have free Iran with the potential of the people, you have different oil supplier. Therefore, you don't need to play with their policies in order to the way that Trump one time says, keep the oil, or you don't need that. So therefore, it has to be a kind of logic in Western diplomacy to make this connection and try for a freedom of Iran, for more supplies. I mean, it's just about money. I don't want to be moral or whatever. It's just about money. If you want to think about money.
Totally true. I agree
So
with that.
therefore, now you have new funders for Harvard. They wouldn't get radicalized, and it's not only Qatari's money, and you don't see thousands of people that they are coming from Turkey, whatever, and all the people that they are going, accept them into other countries. They are refugees. They are not comfortable with the country of their origin, and they are talking about it that it's shitty. But these people, exceptionally, they are there and they are advocating for the same shit that we were in. It's not logical. I mean, it, it doesn't make sense for me. So I hope. I mean, the way I said, they have to these pro-Palestinians. Therefore, I'm focusing on this minority that I mentioned. We have to deport them. They are always there. But this corruption that they've let in, also this radical minorities, the biggest Islamic institution in the whole universe are in Germany and UK, and we already saw UK is lost. I mean,
Wow.
I don't have any hope for UK.
I've heard that.
Help
I've heard
those
that.
people. I don't want to see it in Germany or other countries anymore. I mean, it can shows that how dangerous, and this new government realize. And it's not just about Trump. Trump is one person. We're talking about intellectual people in the government. Republican, absolutely majority, they won the vote, but also Democrats. For example, Marco Rubio. You want to accuse him for so many things. He's also a hard Christian. I don't like that. Putting Christ on your face and come to a meeting with CNN or CBS, I don't know which was, or this kind of stuff. I hate it. But the intellectuality of these people, that they know about how they have to keep law and order in their country, is important. They are not dumb. I mean, come on. J.D. Vance, I mean, one of the biggest things that Trump is doing for the American country, at least for Republicans, for which they are half of the country, Look at his cabinet: Marco Rubio, J.D. Vance, Vivek Ramaswamy, which he got out, but this this person is working with the people under 50. It's the new generation of politicians. I mean, you don't want to argue that J.D. Vance is dumb. I mean, he was in Harvard, at least for about law matter, I think he would know something.
Mhm.
I mean, I'm talking about common sense, about logic,
Mhm.
not being a fan, because we are putting in our box to be a fan.
Mhm.
The only person that I'm a fan of in between politicians is just Robert Kennedy Jr. That's all, and I admit that. But
Mhm.
also, I'm still criticizing if he's wrong.
Mhm.
I'm not praising him or admiring him just randomly. So
Wow.
that's the approach, and for pro-Palestinian stuff, and I think it would be gone if we deal with Israel-Palestine right now. Yeah.
In the way it's dealing, you mean, in the way it's going.
Mhm.
You mean with the steps that are taken momentarily?
Yeah.
Deportation,
Actually,
yeah.
I mean, basically, the situation is like that. Europeans, they want to say, oh my God, it was not our fault. Trump gave the green light to Netanyahu, and they've compromised on this matter that the priority is what? Is national security for Israel. And with this situation that we have and the global pressure, uh, this national security for Israel would not be ensured if Hamas stay in power. And we have a problem because they are hiding themselves among civilians and they can't catch them. They've ruined the generation with those military stuff that they were teaching to children 10, 20 years ago. And these pro-Palestinians, they were silenced. Yeah. Okay, now they've ruined the generation. Okay.
Yes. Thank you for saying that.
Yeah.
And they are
Absolutely.
dealing with it, with the redistribution of, they've got it back from UN, with the redistribution of food. Now they are bringing all of them to the south. Therefore, there is no place for Hamas terrorists. And I'm not talking about morale. It's fucked up, this war. It's so nasty, but I'm talking about the reality on the ground. I've got born here. It's my right to say that. I'm just describing. I'm not admiring any aspect of it. But they are settling it down, and they would come to south for food. And you see some videos also that I can feel why they are talking. Palestinians are saying America, America. Why? They don't love America. Even if they get the chance, they would maybe go for radical stuff. But at least America is saying to them, "Hi, hi. Here is the food." Hamas and the Islamic Republic and these radical fanatics. And as a person who got born under Sharia law and I've lived with mullahs in Iran, I know how they operate. They are working based on humiliation, limitation, and oppressing you. Hamas is telling them, okay, we have aid from America. Okay, give me. It's free aid. No, you have to pay. You see the approach? Absolutely. If I
Yes.
was
Yeah.
there, I would also dance and I would say, I love America. Give me food. Yeah, because they would at least just give the food. So these are kind of stuff that pro-Palestinians are just, silent about it.
They probably believe it even. Like, you see, they're not so anti-America. You see, it's unbelievable how people do not think it through. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
I've heard
yeah.
that already. I've heard that already. How do you see your future? I mean, you're in your early 20s. You have definitely educated yourself a lot in history and in political science, in a way, if I can say it like that. And I find it interesting that you read, as an Iranian guy, that you read about the forefathers, because it's a very interesting document, right? How do you see your future? What do you feel like you want to do for Iran or the movement, or where do you see
Germany and
yourself in 10 years from now? Within 10
I mean,
years, where do you see yourself?
I would just continue with these political activities and hopefully I wouldn't get biased by any money because I work for nobody. I mean, if you want to judge me that I'm a propagandist of Israel or Hamas or Iran or I don't know, Berlin, whatever, Trump, America. I work for nobody. I work for my shadow, for myself, for my t-shirt, for whatever except another
I
individual.
love it.
That's all.
Yeah.
You know, I'm
Yeah.
anti-establishment approach. That's the revolutionary approach. That's what I've chosen, and that's what I would stay with, hopefully. But the point is, I would continue with this stuff. I mean, as a um, just one individual that I see myself in this planet. I'm so also because I'm atheist, I'm so materialist. Therefore, I just go on with the reality. And also for the future, I would love to. I don't know. I change my mind so many times. I don't know what I want to do in with my life. I'm not that person. And I'm so open to anything, to 2 years of that, 2 years of that. I don't know. Even if at 30 or 40 I realize that would be my job, I'm also satisfied. So right now my approach is going again, which is a huge decision for me, for study, because I had always a big hate for studying again, with these traumas in Iran and under Islamic Republic. But now I'm thinking about law, actually,
Mm.
becoming a lawyer, maybe international lawyer, or
International lawyer. I can see that. Yeah.
maybe
Yeah. Yeah.
also, yeah,
So we need to
why not?
Do
stay
it.
in touch.
Do it. Do
Yeah,
it.
yeah, 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 yeah.
Yeah, you
Is-
can also make a connection for me. Maybe I can be, I don't know, maybe Israeli ambassador in Berlin.
Look at
You
this.
know
Look
what?
at this.
You could. You absolutely could. There's no reason you can't dream big. You have a great mind.
Oh, that
You're
was the
awake.
smallest one, actually. That was
Hmm?
the smallest one. That was the smallest one that I said.
Oh, whoa, whoa, whoa. First you need to become
Ah,
first you need to become Israeli. Or German,
serving
for
the
example.
idea.
Funny,
I just
funny.
have one last question, if I could.
Yeah.
What do we do? You mentioned the oil money. What do we do? You said it was tainted money. I mean, how can we get Harvard or all these universities to understand that this money comes at such a cost, which is the cost of our own democracy? And that's such an important point you said, because it's ubiquitous here. It's everywhere now, and they don't realize that. They don't realize they're dealing with this is it's bringing down the country. So
Naive
I
and
really am.
ignorant. Yeah. Yeah.
What do we do? There's so much oil money. How do we fight it?
Law, the law in those in your country and other countries, they would take care of it. But the main question is how we can prevent it uh,
Coming in.
for the future in order not to
Yeah.
happening again. The answer is whether you would like it or not, you find it naive or perfect or whatever. I'm so informed, at least in my personal level. I mean, I'm not the president or whatever, but in my personal life,
Not yet,
I
anyway.
claim. No, we have chancellor in here. If I want to dream, therefore I have.
You're going places.
Anyway, but I would argue the solution, one and only, with the updated vision that I claim I have about the world, is for the Western civilization, Europe and America, to deal with the Islamic Republic, use the potential of Iranian people, prevent any kind of separation for Iran, because we have Kurdish people, it's just so interesting. The identity that Kurdish people in Iraq have, it's so
Ethnicity.
different with Kurdish people in Iran.
Yeah. Yeah.
Therefore we have to keep it, and we shouldn't let other groups, therefore we need international support. Who has to defend it? Is IDF has to defend it. American troops has to defend it for the first years of the new government to establish a democracy, because we have this potential. And after it, the dynamic of the world would change. Iran would come into the Western civilization course. America is spending too much. They have to move on, and they have already started to build military bases in Bangladesh. They have to move on, kind of NATO stuff. The only way that, I mean, the why you could prevent Russia and Putin to come more and forward was because of NATO, and this is expansion. They have to move on. Trump knows that. The discourse of American Democrats and also Republican is telling us, therefore, Iran has to be free, not even with Shah. No, not a good. I don't want to call him dictator. He was a father of Iranian development,
Yeah.
modern development. I
Yeah.
praise him. I admire, even especially Reza Shah. But although that I'm also not a fan of the child, but the crown prince Reza Pahlavi, but also I'm not rejecting him. Any element, any person who's fighting against Islamic Republic is priceless for me. All we have to do it, all of us together. But they have to move on. They have to support Iran to be free and stable. Therefore, we have Israel and Iran, and we have better interest in Middle East. It would bring less war. Now you have the most oldest country maybe on planet Earth, at least in Middle East, in your on your side. Therefore, we can do business corridors. Iran geopolitically is the heart of the universe. Iran was always throughout the history the connection between West and East. And these kind of the stuff, these are the stuff that you need
Mhm.
in order to go against China. Otherwise, kiss your, I don't know, your coats, your shoes, hang them wherever you want, and go home, give the word to the communist China if Iran is not free. Or I would argue, reformed Islamic Republic would not make it easy as it can be for you. And it's risky.
Yeah.
And you don't use the 100% potential. Their fear, bottom line, is maybe it would not work. You can go to toilet and you can just, I don't know, die. What, why, I mean, why is it? I know also one other argument is that Iran has also this imperialist approach. Not anymore. We are talking about a modern Iran. We don't care about some other land. We just want to live our life, be prosperous, be free, and also share it with others. All these AI stuff that you see is happening in Saudi Arabia and other countries, they are nothing compared to Iran. All the Qataris hub, and the biggest appeasement is from these countries. You know that also one fact. We have the flight hub or sky hub of the tourism and flights in Turkey and Qatar, okay, or Dubai. Geopolitically, I mean geographically, Tehran is the best place to be the flight or sky hub of the Middle East. It's lower compared to others, less gas, less energy, more profitable, and also better tourism. And it's in the heart of the Middle East. From Middle East, from Iran, they can go to East and West, Tajikistan, or I don't know, to Turkey. It brings more and more money. But Qataris don't want to share it.
Wow. Wow. How do you see the future if that
Wait.
hopefully will be realized soon, the democracy reinstated in Iran? How do you see that the relationship with Israel would be from your point of view, from the people you know, how you have seen it?
Absolutely, we would have anti-Semitism when, like we have in everywhere, even we have it in Israel. Orthodoxy Jews, they say we have to wait for
No. There are just a
Messiah.
few lunatics, but the rest is
No, just
Okay,
yeah,
few
I agree.
lunatics.
It's just a few
But we
loonies.
have-
few lunatics in it.
We have.
They have the
We
Because
have
it's
our
not-
crazies.
religious
That's
no, they're not anti-Semitic, they're anti-Israel because they think it should be established by God and not by people.
yeah.
That's their
They're
problem.
still they still don't
even
realize
worse.
what?
They are selling it to you with not be anti-Semitic because they are anti-Semitic. Anti-Semitism nowadays, it's not just about being against Jews.
Have
It's
you
about a
spoken to
nation.
them? I have. Be careful.
Sorry,
Yeah.
again?
Have you spoken to them? It's Neturei Karta. I know their religious perspective is very orthodox. It's not that they're anti-Jewish. It might look like because they fight for their cause, but they don't believe, they're so religious. They believe that only God would come down as the Mashiach and establish Israel. It should not be established by people. That is their vision. That's what
And
Israel is a
they're also
democracy,
they're also
whether you
so
like it
mistake.
or not. I mean, as an answer to them, whether you like it or not, we are a democracy, baby. We are not the Jewish state.
Right.
I
Yes.
mean, with the
They
majority
also
of people, we are.
they also wouldn't last a day without the IDF. And they
No,
also
that
don't
is
have
the
much political
hypocrisy.
power.
That's the
That's the
paradox.
hypocrisy. It's why
Right,
people
but
Absolutely.
they wouldn't even stay alive without the idea.
go
So
into
it's
the
almost a
army.
joke. No one
Yeah,
takes it seriously.
yeah.
My point.
The
My
bigger
point.
anti-Semites are the ones in Congress, the Jews that are anti-Semites, people like Bernie Sanders. Those to me are much more dangerous because they have a lot more political power. And also a lot of Jews on campus that are part of this uprising, Jewish that have turned against themselves and they're being
Yeah.
used as political pawns, as useful idiots for the cause, so to speak. And to me, that's a much bigger problem than the crazy
Yeah, but there are
fussing.
also quite some people of them that are not Jewish and say they're Jewish because they think they help the cause. It's
Yeah, they
more
say,
the
look, even Jews
fear.
hate Israel. Why
But,
should we
but
care?
there's also the problem here with the dualistic way of thinking. Like, are you for Israel or are you for America? Are you more loyal, the dual loyalty, right? So, and then those politicians, they try to prove they're such good Americans and then betray their own tribe. And they take distance emotionally from their tribe. It's a complicated thing, too. Not Bernie Sanders, because he is, to my opinion, totally off the road. But it's a sad phenomenon. Everybody needs to have an opinion. I think a lot of people should just shut up about this
Right.
kind of, not
But
you,
to your
but
que- But to
yeah,
your question, actually, that's my point. I mean, you have always a minority that they are hating someone or somebody for
yeah,
what reason, you know?
yeah.
Absolutely. Anti-Semitism we would have in Iran, in the future of Iran, but I would argue it wouldn't be more than 10%, 5% minority.
Well,
Also, with the law, we can do it good and it can be even less and less and less. Because we know people would react to the law. I mean, you have to establish law and have to explain it for the people. I mean, there is no such a thing in this country and there is no space for it. Germany is the best example. Anti-Semitism, absolutely not.
it's
I
this
mean, the law.
crazy illness,
But the law, but
anti-Semitism.
Germany is inviting people in who disagree with that law
Yeah.
and
The
her
discourse
marching
got
to that
changed. I
effect.
mean, German people are smart. They've waged 2 world wars and they are still in the democratic side of the world. So, I mean, it has to make all the politicians genius how they did that, But they would change discourse. I mean,
Don't you think
we are
it's too
not dumb,
late? Don't you think it's too
basically.
late? Nadiv?
No. For
Navid,
UK, it's too
sorry.
late.
Huh?
For UK, I think it's too late, but
Not
for
Germany?
Germany, no, I don't think so. Because I'm here.
Okay, well,
You
make
need to
No,
speak
no,
up.
no.
it happen. That is a great last word. Let's really end it there. You make it happen. I support
You make
you.
it. We're banking on you.
Yeah. We will see your name out there later. And we can
It
say,
was
oh,
a
you were here,
really
you were
wonderful
here.
talk. Thank you, thank you. It was
I
really wonderful.
You're
I hope that
wonderful.
you
Yeah, we
enjoyed
have
it
some
also.
more thing. We go now to our favorite, our habit we always
Oh,
do. We go to our favorite.
anti-Semitism.
It's hard to say favorite. What is your anti-Semites, Jew hatred, whatever you want to say, person or group of this week? So, Leah, what do you
Well,
have
you know
for us
my guy.
today?
It's Keir Starmer, a supporter of
Oh, yeah.
Hamas, while claiming Israel should do a ceasefire. I have it here. British government knowingly funded Hamas with millions,
Yes.
and he condemns Israel for a war with Gaza. Wow, that really upset me, and more than upset me. I feel a sense of despair that the leader of Great Britain would be so immoral and corrupt.
Yeah.
I'm just so disappointed in him.
Yeah.
I'm disgusted. He's got blood on his hands. It's the same thing when the Great Britain, before Israel was a state, they didn't let the Jews who survived the Holocaust, a miracle, come into the country, but they let everyone else in. They just can't stop making poor decisions. And for money. And
it's very interesting
Nadeem,
for a
it's for money.
country
Navid,
that's
it's for money.
yeah. It's
Yeah.
very interesting for a
I mean,
country that has been colonizing so much in the world, has a super
Right.
colonizing history, and they
Hypocritical.
suddenly go to turn around, and the only decolonized country as Israel is right. And the British took it there, and they gave it away 77% to Jordan, and they said, "Okay, you Jews, you can get 23% shared with the Arabs, 12% for you, 17, 15, whatever." And now they have to do this betrayal. Yeah, it's
And they always look so clean.
terrible. Yeah,
It's just a lie.
yeah, it is.
Oh, that was a bad one. Okay.
It is. Yeah, Navid, what is your projection?
Anti-Semite of the week.
Anti-Semitism, I want to name a group actually. That's called Never Again Berlin on Instagram. They are kind of anti-fascist people, but it's so interesting in Germany. Antifa got separated after 7th of October. You have two type of Antifa in Germany. It's so interesting that you can be far left, you can be anti-fascist, but also you can stay against anti-Semitism. And they are really cool people, different ideology, but really cool people. And they have some kind of fundamental positivity or political positivity, at least I can say. So really cool people, and they are working in Germany, and they are always under anti-Semitism. Never again Berlin.
But
Yeah.
this is a positive story. And that is for the second round. The first round is like
It's the anti-Semites.
the anti-Semites or the Jew haters, which is your group for today. Do you get this the other way around? Did you get it?
We were doing the anti-Semite of the week first, and then the hero. We did anti-Semite and then hero. You're saying that these people are good.
The
These are the
anti-Semite. Oh
heroes.
shit. Oh yeah, now I
Okay,
got
it's
that.
okay.
No, even for that part, I had another person. And
Okay, say it again.
I've got but I mean, no. For that, I mean, I can say, but I can say Ali Khamenei. I mean, it's the
Right,
main
yeah.
one.
Okay,
The
you can
best
use
one, I
it.
think,
It
in
speaks
this
for
matter.
itself. Yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
Well, thank you. That made it very quick. So for
Sorry.
me, no, that's fine. It's
No, it's my
confusing.
first time
I
here,
so
therefore.
totally.
It's okay.
What I chose actually is a message, and it's a bit relevant to related to your story, Leah. And I will read it here. A news thing: Gaza residents storm Hamas warehouse and find it stored with a lot of food. So we see this that here again, how Hamas was controlling a lie and all that there is much, much, much more. But this information does not reach the mainstream media. It's almost like, oh, this BBC put out something, and then you have like hundreds of people, oh, the poor Palestinians, they're starving, there's this. No, they are not. And it is that whole, I find it so disgusting that there is, and it's, in one way that people say, oh, Jews control the media. Yeah, duh. If that was true, then it would be a totally different news information today. I mean, how stupid. It bites
I
yourself
mean,
in the
no,
butt,
no,
right?
I think they control the media. Yeah, Israeli media. I mean, so
Yeah. That's a good answer. And yeah, crazy. So anyway, it is with sadness that I say this, because it feels very disempowering to see so many lies. Also the figures of Hamas about the death toll. Like, how many times have you been attacked? Oh, you killed 20,000 babies. What a nonsense is that? How can you even count 20,000? It's like, yeah, Hamas says something and the world believes it. That's really a very sad thing. So now time for something nice. Leah, there you go.
I have two. I'm going to give Douglas Murray my absolute best. These are two twin. He is just working day and night to help understand anti-Semitism, and he spoke with what's her name? This professor, I forget her name, but anyway, he's came out with a book on anti-Semitism. He's from
Melanie
England.
Phillips. You mean maybe Melanie Phillips, that interview?
No, the professor from Tikva. I sent it to you. It doesn't matter. I'll get her name in a second. But he came out a book he's writing about it, and he's very engaged. He's from England, and he's warning people. And I met him years ago when he wrote The Strange Death of Europe. He started then, and he's showing that this is a problem, and he's citing the bills now. So he's extremely courageous. My other one is not someone Navid is going to like, because you mentioned him earlier. It's
no, it's okay.
Marco
You can't
Rubio.
go for my
Marco
description. I mean,
Rubio. I didn't know he's a religious Christians. By the way, a lot of religious Christians helped found the state of Israel. Christian Zionism is actually we couldn't. I don't think we could have had the state of Israel without Christian Zionism.
Really?
And it's biblical and it's peace loving. So I'm okay with that. it just doesn't bother me. But anyway, he just came out with a very impassioned, clear, morally clarified statement that there can be no coexistence with evil, a fiery defense of Israel and the Jewish people. And I'm really grateful that he said that, because there's not enough people that are just saying, hey, you know, Israel's a good place. It's trying to be a democracy. It's the only democracy in the Middle East. And it's hard to be a democracy because you see how hard it is to keep it alive, but to keep it alive when everyone wants to destroy it, it's hard. So
The
I'm really
measurement
glad.
of Middle East is different. Therefore, with that measurement, Israel is a democracy and good one.
And it's the only place where people can go if they're gay in Tel Aviv, or, I mean, I'm in Jerusalem. I see there's Israeli Arabs trying to learn to drive on Saturday. They go in religious neighborhoods. It's not comfortable, but it's coexistence. You have to give and take. That's the point. So he brought out the best of Israel, and I'm just so grateful that he did that, because he's high up there at the State Department. So I was just like,
He's a joy to listen to. It's
Yeah.
a phenomenal guy. He really is. Yeah.
And he's not Jewish. Oh, and I'm sorry, Elise Stefanik. She's my other one. She was at Lisa Stefanik. She spoke out. I didn't know she wasn't Jewish. She is speaking out. She was in a graduation this week, and she spoke about how she forced the heads of all the universities, hey,
Yes or
she had
no?
to come up with a
Yes
quick
or
question,
no?
like
Yeah.
yes or no. And she wrote it on a scrap piece of paper. She said she had one question that would force the hand,
Yeah.
and it's context dependent. You're an anti-Semite
context
then.
and-
No,
yeah.
it's not context dependent. That's the point.
Yeah, that was very good. I think she made a lot of she got herself known by that. Okay, well, Navid, you had already your hero, the hero group, the
What's it called? Never Again?
Never Again Berlin. Berlin,
But
yeah.
can I mention one more? I mean,
Oh, why
Yeah.
not? Sure, let's
Yeah.
put more joy
I
in
want
it.
to
Always more
mention,
good news.
I want to also use this part maybe on Instagram, maybe, I don't know. But I want to mention Musab Hassan Youssef.
Oh, yeah.
This man is even out of curiosity or out of interest, sometimes as a movie that you like, I sometimes go to for his debates in 1 year ago or whatever, and I look at it again. Like before the podcast, I did the same. Musab Hassan Youssef, I have so many empathy and same kind of story in my mind that I can share with him, because it's about the concept of a person who got born in Middle East and got survived from the killer authority, and achieved a freedom for himself and or herself, any woman or man. But Musab Hassan Youssef, the way that he's also continuing still to advocate for Israel without fear, it's so many logical points, and he's introducing himself as a Palestinian child. I mean, it's fascinating. I learn really from him, and he's kind of a hero for me. I mean, not hero. I'm not that type of guy, but he's really genius.
Yeah, you are. You can have a lot of admiration for someone. I do never put people on pedestals, but there are people that you have so much like, wow, you're fantastic, doing fantastic things, and he's one of them. He was speaking in front of the United Nations, and a lot of Europeans walked out. Yeah. Is that an Iranian thing to do like this? Is that an Iranian thing?
What do you mean?
We would go.
This gesture? This
We would just
gesture?
go.
No.
Because my
No.
ex-husband does it often, like, like, oh, it's like interesting.
If you listen to Musab Youssef, right? If you listen to him
Musab Hassan
speak,
Youssef. Yeah.
Musab Hassan Youssef, he's very much a devout Christian now, but he's into self-responsibility. And I really like that about him. He's got like he keeps himself honest, and the honesty gives him the moral clarity to speak. It's not that he knows better, but he does. It's not, he doesn't come across that way. He's a truth seeker, and he hates lies and he hates corruption. And I think he loves life, and I think he loves the Palestinian people. And he wants a better future, and his heart comes out that way.
Yeah.
So he's not talking down. He's just
it is
great.
an amazing man.
He's an example or perfect example to show the people. I mean, it's not the popular choice, but when you shake hand with death, you can really be free.
Yeah.
You can really
Yeah.
say whatever you
Beyond the
want, and
fear, beyond the fear, beyond
yeah,
You're
everything,
right.
he's there. Yeah, I have his book here, also, The Son of Hamas. Yeah, I love him a lot. Okay, wonderful. Well, mine is a bit related to actually you, Leah. Natasha Hausdorff. She is a
Ah,
Jewish lawyer in
yeah.
England and an excellent speaker. She gets also, of course, a lot of heat, and her calm demeanor and her smart way of talking, I find that fantastic. And it's better than all the hot craziness. You know, it's great that somebody can speak so calm and wise and smart in a way, like um, what is his name? Douglas Murray does too. So it's wonderful that we have people to be grateful for, and there are more, many more, thank God. And that's
Yes,
a good
thank
thing.
God.
So I want
Thank
to
God.
thank you guys very much. It was really very nice. It took a lot of time because we went over it, but it doesn't matter. It is a lot of interesting information. I can see you will do being big things in life, Navi.
For sure.
I don't want to call
thank
it to
you,
come
thank you.
over now, like come out like a grandma. I'm not even a grandma. I wish I was, but not
I
yet.
mean, don't go there, actually.
But
You don't need.
really, you're a little bit younger than we are, a little bit. And it is wonderful to meet somebody with so much courage
Yes.
and power and education. And this is, I think, that really impressed me so much that you are so well educated. Say it with a good, from a lot of confidence, and and you will learn more and less and all that. But that's really very nice, and that gives me hope. And I think you should also take the mic much more, like others do, like Musab Hassan Youssef too, right? Meet with those people, and you can make change in the world, and you can be the light for the Muslims that do want to live and think like you, because there are many also, and they need also support because they're in fear. They speak out,
Hmm.
and you need to be safe too. So look always out for yourself that you are safe, because there are people that don't like what you say.
No, that's
Unfortunately.
that was a beautiful thing that you said. I mean, if it has encouraged me even more.
Yeah. Oh wow.
Yeah.
But I mean it. I only say things I mean. I am known
The
for
world needs you.
the
That's what
world
I'm gonna
needs you.
say. The world
Yeah.
needs
Oh
you.
my God.
The
Yeah.
world, you are so needed.
Yeah.
Don't ever doubt that for not even a second, because I feel like it's a fight between light and evil, good and darkness, and you figured that out early. And there's a lot of people that will waste their lives defending bad ideas that hurt other people, and you're not part of that crowd. You can see clearly, and somehow, even though you don't believe in God, something in life gave you some ability. So it came from
Mm.
somewhere, and you are very articulate. So I really think, keep studying, keep studying, keep studying, and keep following your sense of conviction, because you are right. You want to spread peace. This is a beautiful thing, but how to do it is the question. It's the devil's in the details, right?
Yeah.
Muhammad Atta took down the Twin Towers. He thought he was doing a good thing. It's like we can get a little confused in that. But the only piece that respects everybody's right to be here is, you get it. That's the
Yeah.
piece.
Yeah,
Yeah.
That's
absolutely.
it. It's not
And
that
Thank you so
and
complex, but
much.
you have
Thank you
courage.
so
So
much.
thank you.
I'm
Wonderful
speechless. It
world.
was it was so many good. I mean, wonderful. Really,
It was
I'm
really
You are
speechless.
nice.
Thank
wonderful.
you. Thank you both.
We will let you know when we stay in touch,
Yes.
of course. I will connect you guys too on Instagram.
Yeah, definitely.
And if you have any other ideas, then it would be great.